Hi, y'all. You know what time it is. Woo! Get into it! Get into it! Yes! We're back! Hi, lovelies. How we doing? Welcome back to another installment of Storytime with Chris. Hi. It's a lovely day. I got my favorite ribbon in my hair. The color orange. You know why. For those who know, you know. Yes, so we are back with another reading of The Remarkable Journey of Prince Jen. Thank you all for your patience. I needed to take a bit of a break last week because I ended up getting a bit of bad news that had me a bit upset and depressed, and I'm feeling a lot better. I know I wasn't particularly energetic yesterday or the day before, but I really appreciate everybody's patience with me, and thank you, because as I always say, mental health is important. It's good to discuss it, and it's good to maintain it. It's a positive thing. But you didn't come to hear me blather. You don't have to watch these stories when they go live. You're more than welcome to watch them in your downtime, nap time, max relaxing, chillaxing time, in between time, mean time, scheme time, study time, break time, CP time, any time that you want to hear a highly animated voice bring you wonderful stories of magic, fantasy, science fiction, adventure, and many more in between. Alrighty, y'all, let's go ahead and get started, okay? Whoop. Skipped a page. Oh, there we go. Chapter 6. Prince Jen follows the flute girl. What they find in the cavern. What finds them? The only trace of the warriors was a saddle by the roadside. Prince Jen knelt to examine it. This is Li Kuang's. He glanced anxiously at Mafu. Where's the one I gave him to mend? Forgive this unspeakably ignorant flute girl for even daring to say this, put in Voyaging Moon. But when all of your people seem to have disappeared and you're far from your palace, alone in the middle of nowhere, very likely without provisions, one saddle more or less is the least of your worries. The least? Prince Jen cried. It was in my charge. A gift for Huan Ming. Master Wu chose it. He stammered out a quick account of his journey and its purpose. I understand why you want it back, Voyaging Moon said. Of course you've already considered the possibility that your officer left his own saddle here and put the other on his horse. He could have, Prince Jen said. But why? And why isn't he here? He was ordered to wait for me. First find him, Voyaging Moon said. Then you'll find what happened. Oh, brilliant, Mafu snorted. Now, how to do that? But surely you know, Voyaging Moon smiled at Mafu. By now you've looked at the roadway and very clearly observed the hoof prints and wagon tracks. Huh? Said Mafu. Oh, yes, I was just about to do that. Not that a shrewd, quick-witted fellow like you needs any help, Voyaging Moon added. But if I were asked, I might agree to come along, in case, a remote possibility, but just in case, you miss some tiny detail. There's a slight odor of rat somewhere in this, Mafu murmured to Prince Jen. She has got something else in mind. Would you help us? Prince Jen asked eagerly. Paying no attention to Mafu, Cha Wei will command you for a good deed. I doubt it, Voyaging Moon said. He won't have the chance. I'm not setting foot in Quanzhou again. I've run off. There's the rat, called Mafu. I knew I smelled one. The Honorable Cha Wei thinks I'm with you, said Voyaging Moon to Prince Jen. By the time it occurs to him that I'm permanently missing, and he searches for me, I'll be out of reach. If he does happen to catch up with me, why, I'm simply doing the young lord a service. You left your master without permission? Said Prince Jen, taken aback. You've committed a serious crime. I certainly have, Voyaging Moon happily agreed. Cha Wei plans to bestow a great honor on me. Then why run away? You should be grateful. Do you think so? Said Voyaging Moon. First, let me tell you this. My father was a peasant. He could barely feed himself, let alone a family. When my mother died, he sold me to a spice merchant in Quanzhou. The merchant raised me as a handmaiden for his wife. I was taught to read and write and play the flute, prepare tea properly, and all such accomplishments. In time, the merchant wanted an important favor from Shaowei. I was offered as a gift, which Shaowei was pleased to accept. The merchant got his favor, Shaowei his flute girl. Now, she went on, he wants to honor me by installing me as his wife. That's an honor I decided to do without. I'm glad. That is, I understand, Jen replied. Yes, but regrettably the law is clear. It requires me to send you back immediately. I don't want to, but... Young lord, Mafu whispered, drawing Jen aside. Just between the two of us, I'm not quite as clever as the flute girl thinks I am. Tracks? I can't even see them, let alone follow them. The law's already broken. What's the harm in breaking it a little more, in case you're the prince? In any case, you're the prince. The law's what you decide it is. Prince Jin grinned, as I was about to say. With Mafu jogging behind in the carriage, Prince Jin tried to keep pace with the girl's long strides. After a time, Voyaging Moon halted and pointed toward the hills. From the torn undergrowth and trampled ground, she judged that the warriors had gone straight into the uplands. However, no sooner did Mafu try to turn off the road than the mended wheels shattered again. The vehicle lurched and sent him tumbling into the bushes. Crawling out, shaking his fist, Mafu laid this new misfortune on the head of Master Fu. We've had bad luck ever since we laid eyes on him, cried Mafu. He plagues us even when he isn't here. Leave the carriage. It's useless, Voyaging Moon said. We can bring the horses as you were about to suggest. Mafu unhitched the animals. Prince Jin took the bundle of gifts. Having endangered, perhaps even lost one of them, he chose to carry the rest himself. They pressed through the undergrowth, following the sure-footed Voyaging Moon. For well into the afternoon they continued upward, walking their mounts where the woods grew too dense. A little before dusk, the girl halted at the foot of a towering mass of gray rock, dotted with patches of shrubbery and vegetation. The tracks led to the mouth of a cave. They've taken shelter there, Prince Jen said. He ran ahead into the cavern. He could see nothing in the deep shadows. He called out Li Kuang's name. Only echoes came back. Tethering the horses, Voyaging Moon and Mafu brought in torches they had made from dead branches. The flickering light showed an earthen floor marked by boots and hooves. Your men stopped here, Voyaging Moon said. That's plain enough. Then what? Mafu demanded. Vanished into thin air? The girl shrugged. I see what I see. Are there other chambers? Prince Jen took a torch and paced the length and breadth of the cave. The few recesses and passages are all too shallow and led nowhere, I know exactly what happened, Mafu declared. Very simple and logical. They came in, they stopped at the wall. Obviously, they couldn't have gone through it, so they turned around and left. If they did, Voyaging Moon said to Prince Jen, you'll no doubt ask me to pick up their trail again. All right, as you insist. It's too dark to see anything now, but stay where we are. In the morning, I'll do what I can. At our instruction, Mafu built a fire to keep off the chill of the cavern. From her saddlebag, Voyaging Moon shared some of the food she extracted from Shaowei's larder. Prince Jen ate with excellent appetite, feeling in better spirits now than when he first settling out. Though he reproached himself for his misjudgment in letting the saddle out of his hands, for all that it seemed right and sensible at the time, he was confident of finding Li Kuang and seeing the matter finally settled. Despite his complaining at the hard ground and sharp stones, Mafu curled up and immediately began snoring. Voyaging Moon stretched out, her jacket rolled up under her sleeve. Prince Jen, who had never reposed another harsher than silk, propped his back against the stone wall and found it not unbearable. For a while he happily observed the sleeping flute girl, and at last his eyes closed. Voices roused him. Voyaging Moon had already leapt to her feet. Prince Jen scrambled up. The torches had burned low. Gray morning light filtered through the crevices in the cave. A tall figure stood in the mouth of the cave. Tied around his head was a blood-stained yellow scarf. Though Prince Jen is unaware of it, we already know what has happened to Li Kuang. But now is a new disaster about to overtake our three travelers. For the answer, read the following chapter. that is where we will end for today. As always, y'all, thank you so very much for watching. Thank you for coming out. As I always say, you don't have to watch these videos when they go live. And if you haven't already done so, please, 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 please subscribe to the YouTube channel for Storytime with Chris. The link for that is within my bio on Facebook as well as Instagram. I love you all very much, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.